What's up, it's Casey from Caseyscustoms. I have probably the nicest 55 Chevy I've ever seen, completely rust-free, already has a super nice paint job on it. So naturally in this video, I'm gonna cut the living hell out of it and put an LS3 Corvette motor in it. Let's get going. We got a beautiful 1955 Chevy in the shop. This thing is perfect. It doesn't need anything. So naturally, let's start cutting it up. So the story on this car was they took the engine and transmission out. They got it all painted. They wanted to have everything perfect whenever the engine and transmission went back in. And I guess they just lost interest or lost funding. I don't know the whole story. There's no motor, no transmission. They even recovered the seats, painted the dash. It does not have a carpet in it right now, but basically everything else is done. But since it doesn't have a dash, there's no interior parts in at all. No speedometer, none of the trim, any of that. But everything on the outside looks perfect. Really, really good paint job. There's a couple stuff we need to fix. Also, we're not in love with this tan color, so we might go back with white on green instead. But I mean, all of the trim is perfect, looks really good. Taillights, bumpers, everything is nice. But since they stopped basically with the engine setup, we are going to be putting in a giant LS3 6.2 all aluminum engine out of a Corvette. I need to get in here and start ripping all this shit out. We're also gonna be doing airbags. It's gonna have air conditioning. We're gonna get it to layout. We're gonna just basically ruin this thing, and whenever we build it back up, it's gonna be 10 times cooler than it is now. I just got the motor and transmission. Sure enough, we ended up changing our minds. This is a 6.0 out of a truck. We ended up changing our minds. This 6.2 out of this Vet has been in the shop for probably 2 years now, waiting for the right project. It was gonna go in the 46 Ford milk truck build that we have coming up. We decided to put the 6.0 from the truck in the milk truck. So this Corvette LS3 is gonna go in this 55 Chevy, and then there is a built something transmission. I think it's not a 6L80, I think it's a 4L80. It's been rebuilt, had some stuff done. The engine that it was behind had a leak, that's why it's covered in oil, but it's actually a good transmission, ready to go. So what I need to do is switch these two engine spots. This one needs to go in the crate, this one needs to come out of the crate, and then we can start figuring out how the hell we're gonna get it in there. I think my dad's coming down to help me. I wanna take the hood off. You can certainly do it with the hood on, but since everything's painted, it makes me nervous, and I just want it off and out of the way, and all of this needs to come out. You can actually reuse it, but it's just damn near impossible to get everything in there with your core support on. So we're gonna take all that out. We're gonna be running a different radiator anyway. I think I'm gonna start trying to move the engine around, then we'll dig into the core support. So let's get going. Ooh, she's pretty. The story was they were gonna put an engine in it, but they never did, or I don't know if the guy lost funding or what, but
yeah, get your shoulder in here just like this.
Yeah, I need a smaller impact. Here, take your top one off.
I can fit it. I can get mine.
And I was worried about when it comes off and when you loosen it, the thing's gonna stick.
Okay. Now, grab a something.
Just like that.
Ooh. You okay?
Yep.
You head on over that way.
So, I wasn't planning on spending, I don't know, 2 hours getting the motor out of the crate. That crate has been there a very long time. I remember we just pushed it over there, just kind of scooted its own way on over. Well, the 2 years it's been sitting there, somehow the wood is just not scoochable anymore, if that's a word. So that took forever. I had to just break it basically in a million pieces. Had to get a little scissor jack under there so I can get the hoist. Mess. But the good news is it's out of the way now. Whenever I put the 6.0 over here, I am not putting it back in the crate. We're just gonna sit it over in the corner by itself. I got the flex plate put on. I'm gonna get the torque converter put on the transmission and then hopefully get the transmission bolted up. And then we can start tearing down the stuff on the 55. But I would love to have this in one piece and then get the 6.0 out of the way. That would make this a lot better because this whole area over here is just covered with very heavy engine parts. So let's keep plugging along. Motor and transmission are together. That was a bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was going to be. Just getting it at the right angle to get the bolts in. Either way, we are good. It's all connected. I was going to start moving stuff around, but in reality, we just need to start getting this stripped and ready. I also got all the motor mounts and transmission mount over there in a box. So we need to get this core support out of here. Probably go ahead and just yank the brakes, shit like that. If I remember right on my 57, I think you have to cut those ears off. Those ears are the old transmission mount. Don't need that anymore. But I'm gonna get rid of all this shit first before I start tackling that. So let's take a really nice rust-free car that's already painted and cut some shit. Oh, God. These ain't... Oh, wow. Still has some fluid in it. These ain't as light as the old aluminum ones. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's keep plugging along. So you don't have to take this grill out by any means to put the transmission in, but I think I'm going to. Just because it's nice and the chrome is good. But how do I do that without scratching the paint? That's a different question. I definitely painted that with the grill still on. Because that's Bondo dust, I think. Maybe not. No, there's green behind it. There's also green on it, so I don't know exactly what they did. Oh yeah, now we got a wide open shot. Oh yeah. I definitely should have done that on my 57, because that makes life a lot easier. It also helps, even though this was old hardware, most of it was old, some of it was new, it helps that they took all that off to paint it, because it all pretty much came off pretty easy. On mine, I had to cut every single bolt. It sucked bad. It's the middle of the night, so I'm gonna call it a day. Tomorrow, we're gonna come in, cut those two perches off, and then we can get our motor mounts on the engine and start trying to figure out how we're gonna get this big old bastard in there. That is a very big motor. 6.2s are not tiny by any means. And that is an equally big transmission, but we'll make it happen. One way or other, something's gonna happen. Can't remember on mine, I think I had to notch the firewall barely, or maybe I cut, I don't remember. We might have had to cut the floor a little bit and left the firewall, but we'll figure that out whenever we get in there. Ooh, I need to take that old shift linkage off of there. That's gonna get in the way, but yeah, we'll hit it hard tomorrow and hopefully have a motor sitting in there. I like this car a lot. All right, I got the Tri-5 motor mounts put on. These actually already had kind of a funky motor mount on them, so I think this must have been in something else. Either that or the vets use a weird motor mount, which makes sense. They probably would anyway, but it had this giant plate on it, and then one of these styles on there, which those are usually aftermarket. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will tell me. But that's not what I was expecting whenever I went to pop it off. Doesn't look like any that I've ever taken off before. But I've never really dug into a vet motor before. So what we're going to do now is start cutting some shit. We got to cut those rear mounts for the old transmission. We also have to drill a couple of rivets out These 2 rivets on each side have to go out of the way, and then this will bolt right into where those rivets used to be. So you gotta grind those out, chisel them out. It's a pain in the ass, but once you do that, it should be just a bolt-in setup. Should be. Mine wasn't by any means. I tried all this on mine and ended up welding them in because I couldn't get it even close. It was way off. But I'm hoping the stuff I learned on that one will work on this one. I know almost for certain I'm gonna have to pop the headers off and the oil pan. I already have a Tri-5 oil pan coming, and I don't think the stock headers will work, but I'll do that whenever it's up in the air. That'll be a lot easier. For now, we're gonna cut some shit, baby. Let's go. All right. Old transmission, engine mount, whatever the hell that was, is cut out. Engine mounts are put in. Those were tricky as hell. You drill the holes, you cut the rivets out in about 5 minutes, then you spend an hour snaking your hand up around there to get the bolt out. Oh, it's a pain in the ass, but they are in and tight. Engine mounts are put on there. I still need to drop the pan on that. I'm gonna get the pan out. I need to take that thing off the transmission. We don't need that anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna get all this done tonight, but I would like to at the very least get the pan done so we can come in tomorrow and just throw it straight in the car, but we'll see. Get some stuff stripped and get it ready, baby. I have decided, basically, once this is all stripped, this is the last thing, is get this exhaust off. We're gonna throw it in tomorrow because I have almost busted my ass 3 different times on all the oil everywhere, and I don't have any oil dry here right now, so we're gonna do that tomorrow. Didn't have one exhaust bolt break, which is very nice. This is a very, very low mileage engine. Exhaust gaskets look almost brand new. Other than the oil everywhere, she's basically ready to go in. Check her out. Still dripping a little bit out of the transmission, but exhaust, oil pan, oil pickup tube, everything is off, ready to go. Very excited to get this thing put in here. In a perfect world, I would have the other oil pan and put it on, but this motor is going to come out once or twice anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Also, I want to make this one go in and come out very easily. So mine on my 57, we really had to wedge it in there, and I'm hoping this one's going to be different. With whatever I have to do, I'm going to make sure that it's not just shoehorned in so it can't come out very easily. I want it to kind of go in and out relatively easy. I'm throwing around the world easily a lot, but trust me, it's not going to be that easy. But I want it possible, I'll put it that way. So where's got the transmission mount. I'll probably throw that up under there. Well, no, I take that back. I shouldn't have to do that until the transmission's already back there and we have a jack on the end of it. So should be a pretty much straight shot. I'm going to leave it up tonight, let it drip the last couple drops out so we don't get shit everywhere, even though it's already everywhere. Come in tomorrow, get some oil dry on the ground because I've almost busted my ass a couple times walking around, and I know once I get to pushing the jack under there, it's going to be even worse. So this was a good day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going in there one way or the other. Whether we got to cut some shit or not, it's going in.
The next day.
All right, oil dry is down. It's not perfect, but I shouldn't bust my ass now, which is nice. We are going to start wrestling this giant motor in this car. It looks like I got a pretty straight shot, but you know how those things go. I thought I was going to have to adjust the angle, but I think I might get away with where it's at. Really, you want these to go in, you know, like a torpedo. But I think we make it work. Let's see what happens. There's going to be a lot of swearing and cussing, so we're doing time-lapse for sure. She's a fighter, but it's in, baby. Mounts lined up perfect. Once I kind of got it squared away, dropped right in. The hard part was getting the transmission lined up where it needed to be so that I could get the engine bolts in, but it is in and looking good. Now, there is no transmission mount. It's still over there. We only have it held up with the jack, so now we're gonna crawl under there, try and get the transmission mount where it needs to be. I don't think it's square right now. I can't really tell. It's hard to look under there. Get under there and do that. Oh, sweet. Damn, it looks good too. Sits way back farther than mine did. I definitely did mine wrong after doing this one. But hey, it is what it is. That's why you learn, baby. Ooh. She's in, baby! Oh, I need to change out the mount I have. The mount I have is way too small. I need to put a rubber mount in there. The rubber mount they sent me was about a 1/2 inch, and I need the big old factory style that's like 2 inches, so it'll raise it up a little bit, because if you look, tilted a little bit too much down, but I don't know, I'll do some reading. Maybe people run that one, but I feel like it's down too much. It needs to come up a little bit. She is in, baby. Oh, I'm so happy. Man, it looks good too. I was going to start working on maybe the suspension, maybe mounting the new radiator, and I realized none of it is here yet. I've essentially done all I could do for this video, which is fine. I kind of wanted to stop with the engine and transmission getting in anyways. That was a bigger deal than I thought, getting everything switched out. But damn, that looks good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw the grill back on, just because I kind of worry about a nice chrome grill just floating around the shop. I'm scared to death of that hood over there. Not working on this truck right now, shouldn't matter, still freaking me out. It's just, I don't like when stuff is painted, man. It's just another level of stress. So I'll probably end up putting that somewhere else. But yeah, let's throw the grill on and probably call this a video. God, that is a good looking car. Man, that's a good looking car. And get some, I don't actually know what wheels we're gonna run yet, but lay it out a little bit, maybe some Steelies, white walls, kind of like my 57. Sitting pretty. All right, let's throw this grilling. Ooh, I like it. The more I look at it, the more I like it. I'm getting excited about this one. We're gonna order a ton of parts. Some of them are already coming, but we're gonna order a ton more and have some fun with this one. I don't wanna get too crazy. Obviously, airbag, all, disc brakes, AC, that's pretty crazy. But the great thing about the Tri-5 Chevys is you can just buy all this shit ready to go in. Now, I don't know how much the 4-link is going to go in. I'm sure there's some cutting and welding there, but a lot of this stuff is just straight bolt in. On my 57, I did disc brake kits, and they were just unbolt stuff, bolted back in, easy peasy. So we're gonna have some fun. Oh man, I really like this one. I do think we need to change the top to white. I don't love the cream color very much. I think white would look better, but I do kind of dig the green. Yeah, this thing is gonna be a monster. We're gonna clean all this up, make it look better, really show it off. Gonna have a big, nice radiator in there. Probably do a custom core support. They make like a chrome core support that looks really good. Probably do that. Oh yeah, man, cool. Super excited about this one. I mean, how can you go wrong with a 55? Also, we have a 56 wagon here. And then my 57 Chevy, we're gonna have a 55, 56, 57. I mean, you can't beat it. Oh, it looks so damn good. I thought, now it didn't go in super easily, but I thought it was gonna be harder than it was. Now I'm sure I just jinxed myself, because currently I don't have the right oil pan on, so maybe that changes everything. But it shouldn't, because they make a Tri-5 oil pan. On my 57, it went right in, no big deal. But yeah, we're gonna get some more parts coming. Keep plugging along on this one. Very, very happy. I like it. I wasn't sure about the green, but the green's kind of growing on me. You don't see many green ones. I'm really starting to dig it. I currently have a giveaway going on for my 1966 Mustang. Listen, you two are gonna make a baby.
I just flipped the switch.
If you you want in on that, go to Caseyscustoms.com for details. Go to Caseyscustoms.com for the coolest merchandise on the planet. If you are not subscribed, please hit that button now. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all the good shit they do at the end of videos, and check out some more of my other videos. Peace. I love you.